Hello everyone and welcome to Omsi 2. We are in the brand new DLC Zurich Tram Line 11 featuring the Swiss city of Zurich, a 13 kilometer long 34 stop tram line, and here we are in the Cobra 5-6, and this tram is unique, as you can see here. It has a steering wheel, yeah, which is kind of interesting for a tram. I'm not sure if this whole black stuff going on here is because of the 4 GB patch. I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know what that's there. Here we have a Stadt Zurich, city map of Zurich. Unfortunately, it's a bit pixelated, but sure, that'll be fine. And let's take a look at the interior of the tram. So this was the first low-floor tram to operate within Zurich. Now, you're probably wondering, why is there a tram in Omsi 2? Well, it turns out that you can drive buses into the center of Zurich, so I presume this was a way for them to showcase to us the city center of Zurich. This takes you from the suburbs where we are here at the moment. I think this was called Auzelg, up to the city center and then to a hill. And this might give you some tram vibes, because to reverse this tram you have to come back to here to do the reversing, but that'll be for a different video. So yeah, this is quite a comprehensive tram, really, as you can see here. And yeah, it's the first tram on Omsi 2 to have a steering wheel. Actually, I didn't even know trams had steering wheels, to be honest. That some variants had steering wheels, but there you go. Anyway, let's get going. We'll be driving line 11, as you can imagine. So we started off. We have to wait 10 seconds. Once we start this up, after 10 seconds, we can raise the pantograph. And yeah, we can start our journey from rural Zurich, I guess where the financial headquarters are. You might know Zurich from there. You can hear the pantograph raising there. The sounds are quite good, quite realistic looking. Yeah, again, I don't know this. I don't know if this is a bug or if this is. It must be probably to do with the 4 GB patch, but it's strange because just loaded this game in. But yeah, that's Omsi 2 for you. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I guess maybe you don't really be looking at that. Yeah, I'd say that's to do with the 4 GB patch, I would assume. Okay, cool. So once that's started up, I think that's kind of it. Now we just need to drive, and we then need to essentially start our route and set our timetable. So I'll kind of talk about this as we go along, but basically to drive this, it says you need to do page up and page down, but that's not working, interestingly enough. Huh. Have I missed a step? No, I read the thing just there, but let me just double check it. Yep, I didn't miss a step there. So we need to set the voltage to high. So let me just see where that thing is for high voltage. And then once we set it to high voltage, we need to put it into drive mode, which we'll do once I find where the voltage is. Everything's in German, as you can see. Of course, I speak German in Switzerland. So that's all to do with the doors. That's the wipers. None of that here. So okay. Okay, I'm after having switched off the tram there, which is not what I was meant to do. Yeah, because I saw 600 volts there. Okay, that's switching on again, so just bear with it there. So that wasn't the right thing. I'm just gonna double check the manual again, just to make sure we don't mess this up. Oh, I think that's at high voltage now. And then we put it into drive. That will release the parking brake, and then it should be good to go. So then the way this wheel works is page up is, yep, perfect. Page up is to twist it to the right, and page down is twisted to the left. Of course, the green is accelerating and the red is stopping. So this will basically remind you, if you play Train Simulator 4 or Trans-Siberian Railways, essentially this is like the I had a special word for this. I forget the name of it, even though I drove that train recently. But yeah, I didn't know trams have this, because it does kind of seem a bit old school, but I guess it makes things interesting. Now the top speed of this tram is 70 kilometers an hour. So also the perfect stop is just where the route info is. So if you take a look here, we need to stop just by that, yeah, so that it's right here. Perfect, that's a perfect stop. So from here we can set our timetable. So we are doing the 11 and we are going from Auzelg and we are headed towards Rehalp, and it's a journey time of 45 minutes. And we're leaving in 2 minutes. Okay, cool. Now we can set up our route. So to set up our route, we need to put this in. So you go here and you put in 1 for 11 and you click enter and it's route 1. And then what needs to happen is there's another thing that needs to be changed apparently. But 11 should be showing up on the tram now. Just wait for Omsi to load there and we'll get going. And I'll be giving you my thoughts of this DLC as we take a look. So at the moment it's showing the number. So now we just need to put in the destination. So that's cool. That's cool. And yeah, that's the issue there. And now it should be working. Basically the seal, the destination wasn't put in. Okay. Yeah, because there's a manual there, so I was referring to the manual and it was showing 11 for this, 1 for this, 1 for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause this again and just double check it quickly. Alright, so it's meant to be 2. Oh, there's an AI tram. Now that's, I think it's loading in similar to like an adult London where it's meant to be in a way so as to reduce the use on the. Maybe this is 1 and I think destination might be 2. Let's check that. Yeah, so it's the other way around. So, yep. Route 2, so we need to get rid of that. So route is 2 and seal is 1. And then that should show Rehalp. Yeah, perfect. Now, as you can see, people want to get on. So to open all the doors, we have a button here. And that should open all the doors, I think. Oh, it's Thurgauerstrasse. We have. Yeah, I might just take a look at that again. Ah, there we go. Thurgauerstrasse. Oh, so Aufgabe means open, yeah. And 204 and 4. I can't remember what 4 means. And as you can see there, that is the tram we took out of service. Okay, cool. So let's get going now. So now what we need to do is we need to close the doors. Nope. Oh, sorry, 4 is front. Yeah, that makes sense. So that should be good to go. Nope, what am I doing? Page down. Yeah, so basically we need to close the doors and then perfect. And away we go. Straßenbahn 11 nach Rehalp. Nächste Station Friedhul, I think. But yeah, basically to note is do read the manual before you play this, just because it will give you some useful information. Specifically, you load this in when you're loading Omsi 2, you choose to load in. Ooh, it even has announcements. You basically have to choose to load in. Oh, the sounds are great as well. You have to choose to load. Oh, signal T, signal T. Oh, we're straight ahead. When I say straight ahead, we have the signal. Basically, you have to load in with. Sorry, mine's going blank there. You need to load in. There's 2 versions. There's Omsi 2, and then there's a specific one that's called Zurich Line 11. Obviously, you load in Zurich Line 11. I think that's basically just a tram. Like you probably, if some of you might be familiar with the Omsi 2 tram version, which I've actually never used, but I think it's just instead of making people have to go into the files and do it themselves, it's just an easy way to get that. As you can see here, we have an analog speedometer. And Omsi 2 has frozen on me again. I'm gonna hope that it's going to unfreeze. Because I can't be... Oh, there we go, perfect. It's going to take a bit of getting used to with this tram, just because it drives a bit differently than other trams, but that's part of the joy of it. Yeah, so also you can just use the bus stop brake button to open the doors, which makes life easier. Yeah, but I have to say, this is really cool. It's quite detailed. As you can see, there's loads of custom-made objects. There are some, obviously, default objects. Those shrubs there, you might have noticed, were default objects, but look, there's always in the case trees. There's a visor. We won't comment on them. But yeah, so basically this kind of takes you to the industrial area, so it's kind of like the... this basically line kind of takes you to a lot of Zurich. It kind of gives you a taste or a flavour of the city. And there's also a depot as well, which is quite nice. So there is a depot. We won't be featuring the depot in this video, although we'll be passing through it. But we will be doing a depot run in a future video. It just might be, depending how things pan out, it might be in a few days' time, just because of time. Oh, look at that. So that's interesting. So they have these barriers for the tram. So this must be more like one of those kind of like tram trains, so to speak. Kind of like... Because that's quite interesting. I never really see one of those for a tram. But yeah, I think we overshot that a bit, but sure, it's fine. Or at least I'm saying it's fine. We're opening the doors. And yeah. There's some porta cabins. Now, there are also track switches that you can change manually. These ones, I don't think are one of those, or at least you're not meant to. So, we're turning, so let's put on the indicator. Let's take a look at how the indicator looks. Yeah, pretty cool. I have to say, it's quite interesting, because this kind of caught me completely by surprise. I wasn't actually expecting... oh yeah, I have to close the doors. I think I accidentally clicked stop, and I have a feeling that might have reset our tram, which is not what we wanted. Obviously, to stop freezing, please. Yeah, there's the underneath. You can see the wheelies. Sorry, I was getting distracted there. So the doors are closed. My question is, why is this not moving now? I think it's because I accidentally moved that to stop. Did they say... That's opening. So yeah, no, I think that's... Yeah, there you go. Okay, it was just to do with not having the doors closed. But yeah, this was a nice little surprise. Like, a lot of these DLCs for Omsi 2 are kind of coming out with not much advertisement beforehand. So yeah, because I just saw this on Facebook. I was like, oh, this is out. So yeah. So I do have to say a massive thank you actually to the developers of this, MailSoft, for sending me a key for this, which is much appreciated. So that full disclaimer. But yeah. You might know that I'm quite a big fan of these trams DLCs in general. I quite like trams. I think they're quite useful little things to have in any city. Now, why is this signal not changing? Come on. There's only so much cheese gonna wait before he just runs the signal. But yeah, so it's nice to have this. This is the second Payward Tram DLC. The first one being the one by Kevin Nichman, which, as you may know, Kevin Nichman isn't exactly well known for being liked within the Omsi 2 community. He's kind of known as someone that makes very low quality DLCs, although he's kind of disappeared as of late. I guess that's probably because Omsi 2 is maybe not as popular as it used to be. But that really isn't that's really kind of a side point anyway. Look at that, there's some grass, tram tracks, that's pretty cool. Now there are a few backdrops, as you can see there, with the trees. It's kind of Omsi, kind of like typical Omsi 2 early days Omsi 2 style. Like, I'm not really a big fan of these kind of backdrops or payware maps, if I'm quite honest. But I guess it's still better than just having the abyss, because sometimes not in London, if you look at some directions, it is going into the abyss. Yep, we can go straight ahead. But yeah, you know, generally it's quite detailed, as you can see here. There's obviously a custom AI pack of sorts, and yeah, it is very detailed. Like, it also, the tram loaded in the first time. Usually people have issues loading into trams. Yeah, I know, I overshot that quite a bit. People have issues loading into trams. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to do it this way. But yeah, so this loaded in the first time. But yeah, if you follow the manual, it should work generally quite well. And also, so in terms of the features, there is actually a Star Trek thing. So basically, it's a little Easter egg. But you know, if you find it, you find it. I'll show it in some video, potentially. But basically, in the depot, you can actually drive into the depot, and if you go into the Star Trek point, it'll teleport you straight to Auzelg, which is the starting point. Interestingly, you can't load into Rehalp. I think that's just to do with the way Omsi 2 is, that if you have many entry points, it gets confused when trying to place trams. So yeah, I think if you want to start from Rehalp and do the reverse, you have to actually probably drive to Auzelg and then come back, or ooh, that's an AI train. Yeah, so I definitely think this here is to do with the 4 GB patch, which I didn't have installed, but I think it kicks off every time I put on an add-on. Now I don't know why the AI trams aren't showing the destinations. Yeah, so I'm sorry, did someone just complain? Did you hear that? I think that was someone complaining about how I was driving a tram. That is completely wild. You hear that? He was like, It's like that typical complaint from Omsi 2 when driving the bus. That is insane. Never would have thought the day would come where they complain about driving a tram. Like, it isn't. Yeah, I guess if you stop it, abruptly. But yeah, there you go. They're very hard people to please, the Omsi 2 passengers. There's some AI trains as well, which is quite nice. Obviously adds to the realism. Now, I don't know which way we're going. I presume we're going straight, so it won't indicate, but if it starts turning, we will indicate. There are also some switches that you need to change if you want to go to the depot, which we will point out as we reach the depot. It does recommend turning off the sun there as well. That's something people don't really feel like. I think that's going to be difficult. We have to stop there. Oh! Okay, that didn't turn out too bad. Yeah, I'm getting a feel for the tram, basically how fast I can go before having to stop. You guys are probably surprised, like, oh, see, he's actually putting in some effort into this video. It's like, you know what, might as well. Yeah. Cool. If this would turn green, that'd be great, considering there's another car in sight. Okay, there we go. And Omsi 2 is frozen. Let's wait for it to unfreeze. Omsi 2 unfreeze. Please. There we go. Yeah, so there does seem to be a bit of freezing going on. I'm running this on a fairly beefy PC, so maybe just make sure to install the 4 GB patch if you're getting this before you're playing it. So yeah, this is 20 quid, and it's made by the developers who've made, I think, another DLC for Explain 11, I think it was. But yeah, it's basically €20. Which for a tram and the whole route isn't bad. Like, that's kind of like what the standard price was for Omsi 2 DLCs back in the day. Now obviously DLCs are more in the €30 range, €25 range. So this is actually quite good value when you think about it, considering that obviously inflation and like DLCs, you don't really get them for 20 quid anymore. I know you got the Berlin one for line 300 for 20, so maybe that is kind of in line. Oh, there we go. There's Houdini. Come on, turn. I hope that train just. I want to get a screenshot with the train in the background, but it won't turn non-white for flip's sake. Why am I getting white stuff? Yeah, I'm gonna say this is all to do with the 4 GB patch, but yeah, sure, look, it is what it is. It's page down, so I keep getting confused. Yep, we're turning. Oh, there's a turning circle here. Oh no, that's not a turning circle, that's just a boardwalk. Yep, take a look at that little tram visual there. Hopefully you don't hit anything while I'm doing that. Lots of trains, so yeah, that must be like one of the main train stations. Yeah, as you can see, this thing isn't very quick up hills, annoyingly. I like speed. Like, that's actually very slow up hills. Great, but yeah. They're not known for being quick up hills, so yeah. I think this is the depot here. It looks like a depot. I think there's another entrance to the depot as well. But yeah, let's take a look. Yep, that is most certainly the depot. Yep, that's the depot. So I think there was another entrance to the... Oh, look at that. Nice little tram there. That's a nice little Easter egg. Different tram model. Oh, I like that. I like the older trams. They're more interesting. New trams are kind of boring. There's nothing really that exciting about a new tram. It's just like, oh yeah, it's like... Yeah, so we're uphill, so this kind of stops very quickly. Like, you know, new trams just low floor, they're fairly vanilla, whereas old trams, they have character. But anyway, that's really aside from the point. Oh, yep, and, oh, okay.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, it is using the default sounds, but yeah, I guess that's how it is now. I don't know which way we're going. My gut's telling me we're going left, but considering that tram came from the right, I want to say we're going right. Let's see if I was right. Probably have to apply a lot of power to get this going. Nope. So some door is not closed properly. Oh, there's still people waiting to get on. Okay. Cool. But you have to say, overall, I'm very impressed with this DLC. You know, it is quite detailed. The tram's very, you know, detailed. You can see a lot of things are clickable. You know, there's quite a bit of attention to detail. Obviously, the objects are, you know, it's a very high quality map for the most part. Yeah, no, obviously there's a few things there, like the trams don't have, the air trams don't have the route numbers on them. But again, you do have to bear in mind that this is also a very old game, and that, like, getting trams working on Omsi 2 is not an easy business. The backdrops also, but like, look, you can always nitpick with stuff. But you know, there's AI trains, which are quite nice. So yeah, I have to say, I'm impressed with this. It's a really nice map so far, and it's a nice little addition. For 20 quid, it's like quite good value. Bear in mind, like, now you get buses that are at that price. Like, the Studio Polygon Renown is that price, you know. But this is getting a tram and a map. In theory, you could also probably drive a bus in this map, but there isn't any routes to drive. But you know, if you wanted to kind of have a little drive around.
Hello.
Let's make sure this is still recording. Wow, we've been at this for 22 minutes. Yeah, I need to get going because I want to get also a video of the return journey, and I need to kind of speed things up. Because yeah, this is a long route. It's 45 minutes long. Cool, I think that's the cooperative shop. So this is one of the train stations, as you can see here. This is yep, SSB CFF. So yeah, a lot of AI trains, as you can see here, which is quite nice. Just, you know, makes it more lively. I probably should increase my traffic. Oh, that was the right signal. But they, we'll pretend we didn't see that. There we go, 60 kilometers an hour. Yeah, this map does seem to be beefy on in terms of like the textures. Like, it's, you'll definitely need the focal by patch for this. And let's open Sesame. Yeah. And I guess this also kind of goes to show where kind of Tram Sim went wrong, because realistically, this, you know, Omsi 2 is a great game, but it is really kind of showing its age, and you know, it is very limited in what you can do. But obviously, like, the realism is there, less the graphics. But yeah, something like Tram Sim, which realistically is what probably this game, this add-on would have been ideal for, if actually it was possible to make mods for Tram Sim, and you can't. So instead, what happens is you get them for games like this, and I think this is kind of just something that kind of reflects the simulation in general, because obviously it's become very kind of commercialized. Like, all these simulators are being made, they're kind of being made to milk it like cash cows. Like, you look at Train Sim World, you look at Tram Sim, you look at like, so I like this little AI tram. It's a different model. Yeah, there's still high flow trams in Zurich, which is interesting considering it's obviously quite well off. Yeah, I guess it's kind of one of those practical things. If something's working, why change it? Okay, there's no one getting on here, and we'll assume there's no one getting off. But yeah, it kind of goes to show how important it is to have a model. Because also, like, with Omsi 2, you know, developers can make their own models, they can publish it, they can make some money off it. You know, because obviously it's expensive to make a model, it costs time. Whereas, you know, it's much more difficult to do that for, like, games like Train Simulator 4, at least in the past. I know now they have, like, the model tools open. But that wasn't the case for a while. So hopefully now the bus now will kind of overtake that, because now the bus will have AI trams in version 3, and maybe that's will culminate in actually getting trams, because obviously Omsi 2 is never made with trams in mind as like drivable trams. So yeah, one can hope. Oh, I didn't notice that. So there's little steps here that slide in and out. So let's see if we can. Oh, that closes them. No, I want you to close the doors. Yeah. Do those things retreat? Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's very practical. Cool. Yeah, look at that. Just. Yeah, I need to up my traffic on the traffic's very low. Makes because it's the same with most cities, like most nights I play, I have a traffic on low, which makes it up there to up that. I can't just bother to have it low because I don't like being stuck with traffic lights. Because I will follow them. Yeah, it's fine. This is cool, look at all these overpasses. So there's a turning, is that a turning circle? Is this a terminus? And this is also a second Swiss DLC from Omsi 2. So we have Luton Line 24 as well, which actually is on the MailSoft website as well. Oh, stop, DE. Watch what you're doing. Cool. Look at that, that is, yeah. Cool, and the signal is, oh, it's perfect, we can go. It's interesting it shows page up and page down to drive this, but you can also drive this with your mouse if you want. So yeah, you can just turn it with your mouse. I personally think it's easy to use the keyboard, but you know, I mean, maybe you could use the steering wheel technically. I don't know. Yeah, if someone wants to try that, you can let us know in the comments down below. Which I can't see. Obviously, I know technically this is feel very realistic using a look at like a wheel of sorts. It's not for me. There's a random solid island. They're like, what is the point of that solid island? Like the way it branches out, like is there any wheel? Okay, there's no one getting on or off here. So we can just go on ahead, jump on the trees, crossing the way. So yeah, this only says what the next stop is, it doesn't say what line it is. It kind of depends what I say, but some shops will say this is line 11 to Rehalp. Let's see if we can stop perfectly here. Ooh, I think... Was that perfectly? Yeah, it was just about. Well, I'm gonna guess we're going straight, considering that's what the track thingies are pointing towards. But it's also nice that they included other AI trams. So, like, obviously it seems like they paid a lot of attention to realism. But yeah, how did they not know that this thing was being developed? I'm not sure if other people knew this was being developed. This kind of was released out of the blue without an announcement. And it seems like a lot of these days, like a lot of like the odd films that do kind of released without an announcement. Like some of them have a bit of like hype behind them, but like I think it's the same with the Berlin Line 300 as well. But yeah, sometimes it's nice because it's a nice little surprise. Like you just see this, like, oh, this is cool, Zurich. Why don't you? Oh, I'm down with this. Let's take a look. You know, it's like, oh, what a nice little addition. Now, this signal is not. Oh, there we go. Going our way. I was gonna say I might just ignore it, but it's playing ball. Speed. We get 70 kilometers an hour? I don't think so. We can slow down, unfortunately. Yeah, I definitely don't think one is meant to accelerate so quickly with this tram as I do. Although even still, I managed to overshoot it. But anyway. Essentially, there's so many people waiting at the stops. Here, lad, we'll have to open the door if you like. You can open it yourself. Just click the button. Oh wait, these aren't one of those. Are they? No, I think they are. No, they're not. So I think these are the ones I have to open. Ah, I see. Never mind. I thought it's one of those ones where you press the button and it opens, like as in the passengers open the doors. I wonder if this tram is the continuation of the Schindlerwagen AGBE 4-6, because this is like 5-6, so I would assume it's like the continuation of the tram. Quite like the Schindlerwagen BE 4-6. They have them, so they used to have them in Basel in Switzerland. They're known as the cucumbers. So I was like, it might be the case because these are obviously known as Cobras. I presume that's because they're meant to look like Cobras, because like the cucumbers are called cucumbers because they look like cucumbers, or Gherkins, auf Deutsch. But yeah, because those ones are in Sofia, but a few of them have been completely destroyed by how poor the track quality is along some of the line network in Sofia. That those were put on, so yeah, they kind of destroyed those trams. They also destroyed the trams that were on them previously, the T4s. After 6 years, they had to get withdrawn. But yeah, that is kind of aside from the point. Oh, I thought for a second that's a waterfall, but this is not. See, if this was trams, you get a little pop up here saying you stopped perfectly, or in this case, not perfectly. Yeah, I know, it didn't stop perfectly there before anyone says it. Yeah, I love when people comment in the videos, it's like, you're driving this terrible. I was like, did I ever claim it's good? You know, sometimes it's about speed and efficiency. The way I see it is, who wants to sit around? Most people don't even watch most videos. They're not going to watch a bus sitting at the red light. So why should I waste my time if someone's not even wasted their time watching it? You know? Apotheca, Pharmacia. So, oh yeah, so I think in Switzerland they might also speak, because Zurich I think is in the south, it's close to Italy. Yeah, because like there's a few, some of those, obviously German's the main language, but it's one of those places where they speak a few different languages in parts. Because I think Pharmacia is pharmacy in Italian, I think, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of custom-made objects. I don't know how many custom-made objects there's in this, but yeah, I have to say, really enjoying this. So yes, I think great little DLC. As you can see here, it's performing fairly well, apart from the odd stutters. But look, it's kind of be expected. Like considering that tram, oh, I think I'm going to stop all the way up there. Considering tram DLCs in Omsi 2 are always a bit of a nightmare, this does quite a good job of it, I have to say. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Why am I? Oh, someone's getting on. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think they recommend in the fast drive manual that to just kind of use these buttons to open the doors. You can use them on the keyboard, but yeah. Okay, cool. And away we go. Yeah, and also you have there the high beam lights. You have, I wonder what rule does you can click it. So you have a sander. What are sanders? They have these on trains, on trains, on those still. Oh, we ran right there. Ooh, bridge. I like bridges. Bridges always make for nice photos. Oh, see, slow down. So I'm going a bit too fast. I got sidetracked with a quick screenshot of that bridge that I completely missed the stop. Ah well. So yeah, now we're in the city centre, as you can see. You can kind of tell because this is a massive wide boulevard. This kind of reminds me of Munich a bit, trams in Munich, because now you have like these 3 tram tracks. So like there's loads of different tram tracks. It's like, you know, usually there's kind of like 1 or 2, but yeah, there seems to be kind of like a Central European thing. Centers. what's up with this tram track there? Oh, so one of it's going right, one of it's going left. Yeah, like if you go to different European cities, they'll have this kind of like different kind of works to them, like in the way the tram network set up. For example, in Zagreb, you have basically, which is quite unique to Zagreb, in that they have trams. Say if you're turning there, that this will go out and then in, which is very unique to Zagreb. You know, here you have in Zurich and Munich, you have these kind of three-wide tram tracks. You also have this here where you have this split if it's turning right or left, or I don't know what that is, but yeah, all very different. For the tram fanatics who are out there. Yeah, so I think this is like one of the main shopping streets. Oh, hello. Loads of seats, but usually people decide to stand here. I never really get the Omsi 2 scripting, like scripting in such a way that most people, like all people stand when the seat's available. Which, interesting enough, out of all the faults of Omsi 2, that's not one that people complain about. So yeah. So you can't drive a bus through this. So yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why they decided to make the tram, but instead you can actually get to experience Zurich city centre. In this case, I'm not sure where I'm meant to stop because there's no little sign for the 11 and the 12. Or, well, I don't know if the 12 stops here, but for the 11. Yeah, it's all the way up there, which obviously is not where. Oh, maybe it's meant to be the one on the left we look at, yeah. Probably. After while they open the doors. No, I think that's actually just about right. Cool. Should get into the habit of pulling it back to 0 once we stop, so it's quicker to pull off. I don't get why this is kind of one of those incremental wheels. Like, why these things exist? It's not just easy to have a lever. I know this is kind of telling you, like, oh yeah, different torque levels, a bit more methodological, but you know, maybe it's just like strange because like I haven't seen this in trams. It just seems strange. I was expecting like a little lever. So we're going. Oh, we're going this way. Right. Oh! Yeah, we missed that stop. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah. Got carried away there a bit. Cool. And let's watch the doors close. And as I said at the last stop, I can move this down to 0. When I stop, I didn't. Don't follow what I... Oh, I can't remember what that's saying. Oh, there's a souvenir shop there. Nice. So yeah, now we're leaving the city centre, so I think we're now near Rehalp. Is it? River, I see. Back to the river. Didn't think we did like a little... Oh, no, we're turning left. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Good. Knock the indicator off. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I was got a bit flustered there with the buttons. I was like trying to knock off the indicator. Ooh, this looks very nice. Yeah, I have to say this is a really nice DLC. It's like level of detail is just superb. Like and isn't it just pretty? Look how nice that is. Yeah. So definitely one to add, especially if you like trams. You know, it's quite a nice route, and obviously you can try this out with different trams if you want to be a bit less realistic. But yeah, there are plenty of trams available for Omsi 2. There's a Tatcha T685s. There's a Tatcha T6B5s. Like that's not a touch. I don't think, but it's similar enough to one. Now, I'm not going to drive very quickly here because I want to get a picture with the river. I think this will be a thumbnail. Oh, you had to ruin the bloody picture, that... for flip's sake. I love the way they had to ruin the picture of these passengers. I don't know what that's about. I was getting such a great little picture there, and they all had to come and Rain on my parade. But yeah, I think we have a nice reflective now there. I really like a little river as a background, because like usually then the rivers there's like lots of like scenery around it. Now if this will unfreeze, that would be great. There's a little sign as well telling us that something is due. Now those trams do look like KT40Ms, but I don't know. So there's another little bug, but yeah, look at it. It runs so, and it's quite nice to drive, so you know. Ooh, there's loads of tram tracks here. So Zurich is a very tram heavy city by the looks of it. Come on, I need a signal to go. If you don't give me the signal to go, I'll just have to go anyway. Yep, there we go. I wonder if that's a terminus, because that tram doesn't seem to be. Yeah, so that must be a terminus of sorts. Which makes sense, there's always central terminal line, and there's a little walking plaza. Yeah, there's no directional arrows, but you know, it's a tram, you can't go where it tells you to go. Yeah, you can, so for the depot I think you need to know, you have to just check the maps to know where you're going. Because I think I have them on, I do, yes. There's none in sight. There's a train station here. Very nice. Another one. And more AI trains. Hey. Yeah, this is you know, I'm blown away by the quality, because like, you know, sometimes obviously when it's like a new developer you haven't heard of, like just kind of like, especially when it's unannounced, you kind of like, I wonder how this is going to be, you know. The expectations are sometimes a bit lower, because it's kind of like, okay, well this is a bit random, and it's obviously like, it's an old game now, but you know, they've done a very good job, and I have to say, it is phenomenal. Like, it's very kind of in-depth, the city, like for the most part. You know, even here, like it looks quite dynamic in the sense of the 3D-ness, and like the fact you have those kind of like shrub backdrops with like the different views for like the hillside. So yeah, it's a very nice DLC, and it's very detailed, and it's definitely like, you know, of paywall quality. Like in terms of as far as tram lines go, like this is one of the most detailed ones from Omsi 2. So yeah. Ein Plus an Zusammenhalt, a plus and togetherness. Every time Omsi 2 freezes, there's always the risk that this will be when it completely crashes, and this is already for 10 seconds, so it doesn't bode well, which is quite annoying because we're very near the terminus, and I do want to see what the terminus looks like, but it does not seem like luck is on our side. I don't dare touch anything, but it's one of those things. If Omsi 2 is frozen for more than 30 seconds, it's like a 95% fail rate. It's like a hypothesis test or a significance test for those of you who have done maths and stats. You know, with 95% confidence I can say Omsi is going to crash, unfortunately. This is the unfortunate thing about like having all these high quality DLCs, especially like, we're still getting content from, so we've got Bodenham, we've got this, but the problem is that the game is just such a pile of garbage that it would be nice if we had something that was actually usable and playable, and didn't want you to grab your PC and hurl it out to Marcel Kunt's house and be like, listen lad, instead of working on Lotus, which is a complete pipe dream that will never materialize, why don't you fix this abomination of a game? Or at least, like, you know, don't leave this product abandoned to work on something that is just another pile of crap that is going to be Lotus. But look, that's how it is. So yeah, that's unfortunately where we're at. But unfortunately, we won't be able to see Rehalp in this thing. And the only thing about this is with tram DLCs is that you can't actually load the tram into anywhere or place it further up like a bus. So when Omsi 2 does its usual crashing nonsense, I could just load it F4, move further up, place the bus and continue the route. With this, I have to restart the whole POC series, and I run the risk of Omsi 2 crashing yet again, because why wouldn't Omsi 2 crash? It's a pile of garbage. So yeah, great DLC on a terrible game, and yeah, this is like the kind of dichotomy I have, because I'm like, look, it's great having all these add-ons, but I just wish we had something else to move on to, because this just keeps this game alive, and it keeps actually funding money to developers that completely given out in this game and just kind of left the unfinished product and just walked away and wiped their hands clean. Like, when you think about it, most of the financing for Lotus comes through Omsi 2, so it's kind of it's ironic in a way. But look, that's not really relevant to this video or to this DLC, so I'll leave that rant there. But yeah, this DLC is quite nice. I hope that when I install the 4GB package that this will work. I presume that will alleviate some of the issues, although I don't know. Look, that's just Omsi 2 for you. Trams and Omsi 2 are always going to be buggy. It is a bit of a risky business. It's just how it is. Omsi 2 is just always going to be a mess. But yeah, it's quite a nice DLC. Very reasonably priced. I think I kind of went through the pros there. I went through the cons. There isn't that many cons, but I know some people like to be picky, but it's mostly overwhelmingly positive. So yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you next time. Hopefully that time Omsi 2 will last the Rehalp, although we don't know.